I don't know about you, but I'm a big fan of green in all its forms. Get it? And for fellow lovers of, well, green, the Club Random merch store has you covered. Grinders, papers, and Zippo lighters, all designed to support your relationship with green, wink, wink, whatever, and whatever philosophy comes with that for you. Head to clubrandom.com and bring home some random. Factor basically removes all the excuses. The meals are already prepared, designed by dietitians, crafted by chefs, and delivered right to your door. You heat them up in 2 minutes and move on with your life. What's impressive is the variety. So if you're trying to eat better this season, Factor makes it easy. Head to factormeals.com/random50off and use code RANDOM50off to get 50% off and free daily greens per box. See website for more details. Today's episode is brought to you by Quo, spelled Q-U-O, the business phone system built so you never miss a call. With Quo, all your calls, texts, and voicemails live in one place, so anyone on your team can jump in, see the conversation history, and help the customer right away. Money's on the line here. Always say hello with Quo. Try Quo for free, plus get 20% off your first 6 months when you go to quo.com/random. That's QUO.com/random. I may have
deviate.
I did.
Okay, that's what happened.
Well,
yeah,
I don't know.
you deviated.
I probably.
Yeah, you absolutely did.
Club Random.
I do not want parking spot number 2.
You were always one chess move ahead of the rest of us.
No.
Byron.
Club Random.
Byron,
Yes. Hey.
you're so early. I'm so sorry.
Early. I'm just on time, buddy.
Well, our official time is 5:30.
Oh, I'm sorry. They told me to get here at 5.
Well, I mean, because you can't materialize at the moment the show starts, we think, well, you don't need makeup. But
And I don't need hair.
do you ever wear makeup on your
Yeah.
comics? You do?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't need hair, so that's that.
You don't look made up,
Oh, okay.
but black
don't
don't crack. I mean, right?
Yeah, but you don't look made up.
Well, I'm tarted up, but
If you don't put makeup on, what do you look like? You look like Bill.
I do.
What year did you come out here?
83.
83. So there you go. 83, 17. I've known you almost 45 years.
And that's what I love about this show, is that, busy people like us, we like each other so much, you can tell when we talk, but we never really make a plan to get together, even though I've always wanted to and you've always wanted to, but we have our lives. And this is like, somebody who I know, but I don't really know.
Oh, that's very
And now we're going to, all questions will be answered tonight. Are you having a drink with me?
I just drink water. I'm good. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did you always teetotal?
Yeah.
You've always been such a straight arrow.
Yeah.
I mean, how'd you get to be a billionaire? That's just like everybody is impressed with a billionaire.
Oh.
It's just a number that means so much to a society that is, let's be honest, very materialistic. And, I'm a capitalist.
That's okay.
I know you are too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You don't want all your fortune confiscated.
No, of course
No,
not.
and we give a lot already.
Yes.
And we're happy to.
That's right.
If it goes to stuff we approve of.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, look, for me, I've never, I'll just say this. Your health is your wealth.
Oh. I say as I pour poison into a glass. Exactly what I've always said. Where's my joint? There, between my legs.
See, look at that. You can't even keep track of where it is.
By my crotch, where I know I'll keep an eye on it.
You'll keep an eye on that. So yeah, that's your wealth, man. If you can be healthy and really maintain your mental health, your physical health. It doesn't matter. You can have a fortune, you can lose a fortune, you can do it 10 times. You'll always rebuild it if you have your mental health and your physical health. And love, just have love in your life and have balance.
I've lived without love.
Yeah, but I mean, you are a loved person.
Yes, I am swimming in love now. But like,
but there
were times. I mean,
but you love. There's something you love. People you love. Animals you love.
Yeah, yes. But I'm just saying, like when I was in college, there were years where there was not a lot of love. I didn't even have friends, let alone I gave up on girlfriend. I think sophomore year, and then it was brutal.
And friends?
Cornell was like it was very hard. The first year they put you in the dorm 4, which was temporary housing. This is Cornell.
Yeah.
After World War II, that was still up in the 70s. So I just didn't get along with the kids. They were like first time away from home, and they were just, I thought, very immature. And of course, stupidly, I said something, so then I was ostracized. So I had, no. And then after freshman year, either you go to a frat,
right,
which I didn't want to join. I'm not the frat type.
I did not.
That was, yeah. So then you have to get an apartment in Ithaca, New York, in these slums. And they're slums because they, it's like Deliverance up there. I know it's New York State, but I'm telling you, it's like
middle of nowhere.
Well, you'd think it was a town in the rural South a little bit. Like townies have been there a long time, and
Where'd you grow up?
Almost like Appalachia.
Is that where you grew up?
No. Yes, I grew up in Butcher Holler. I just learned to talk this way. No, I grew up in New Jersey.
Okay.
Where'd you grow? You grew out here, right?
Yeah, well, I left Detroit when I was 7.
Detroit.
So I was the first 7 years in Detroit.
When you say you left at 7, meaning you'd already made your first $1 million. Because you always have been a little ahead. You were the first guy on The Tonight Show with the young age. You had a I remember 1980 was real people. 79. Okay, so I'm still in New York.
So yeah, okay.
That was my first year.
Wow.
I left Cornell at 78.
I'm 65. How old are you?
70.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So that was your first year, because I finished high school in 79, and that was my first year at USC.
But you were doing things I wanted to do, and you were younger.
Well, that's because I grew up here and not New Jersey.
Well, no. Actually, the comedy clubs were in New York. It was very convenient for me that I was across the river from Catch a Rising Star, the Improv, the comic strip, later on the Comedy Cellar.
Right. Dangerfields, was he in?
Dangerfields, but that was not done. That was not a showcase club.
Right.
You were a headliner.
Yeah. But you can get some stage time there, right?
I don't remember ever going up at Dangerfields. I remember once going there with a bunch of young comics and to see Jay Leno, who was headlining, which we thought was like, wow.
Yeah.
Though we were very impressed, and I remember he talked to us he had a pipe at the time.
Yeah, that's right. That's his pipe days. I forgot all about that.
You remember the pipe?
Oh, I forgot all. Wow, you're going way back.
Uncle Jay dispensing wisdom to the young comics. No, I think when you set up the junk like that, we're gonna have to cry.
Oh wow, I love that. How'd you do your first time on stage?
Well, the first time on stage was in high school.
Okay.
I mean,
talent show?
Yeah. Yes, which was then canceled because of my performance.
Are you serious?
Not because I was bad. I just stole my jokes from The Tonight Show. And it was a very risque show at 11:30, inappropriate for, I introduced one, this was about 16-year-old girls. She does the Dance of the Virgins, which she performs from memory. This doesn't go over well with the father.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's what I did. That was my material.
That's who cares? Why would someone be offended by that?
Because I'm calling their daughter a whore.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that might hurt someone's feelings.
It's just, you just don't, this is high school.
And it was on The Tonight Show. I mean, you stole this from The Tonight Show.
Yes, I was 17, in love with The Tonight Show and Johnny Carson.
Who wasn't?
And it was risque adult humor at 11:30 at night.
Wow. I never thought of Johnny as doing anything risque, ever.
Oh, he really?
Double entendres, when the pretty women would come on.
For the era, it was very risque. I remember as kids, before I even knew who he was, there was this sort of kid kind of story that goes around, there's always something. And one of them was that this guy, Johnny Carson, had on Jack Nicklaus's wife, the golfer.
Yes.
and said, do you do anything to give him luck before the match? And she said, yeah, sometimes I kiss his balls. And Johnny said, that must make his putter stand up. That's like kids were telling that. I didn't even know who he was.
I remember that.
That's risque, my friend.
Oh, that's risque.
This is
when he had the ladies on, he would do the double.
We're talking about this 1970s.
Yeah, I love that.
Or 60s. I mean, I said sucks.
What was it? One of the women came on and said, "Would you like to pet my pussy?" She had a cat or something.
Exact same thing. That's the other one. That's the companion story to that one about
well,
the
you have to share that one.
I figured that was exactly, I think it was Zsa Zsa Gabor, some piece of ass of the era, and she said something about, I don't know, but yeah, that was it. It was like, something pet my pussy. I remember it. I swear to God, Your Honor, that was the other story.
Yeah.
Something pet my pussy.
Yeah, and everybody was like, the biggest laugh ever.
That may have been when I learned the word pussy.
I think so. For me, I'm 5 years younger than you, so yeah, right. I'm sure. Yeah, okay. I remember when he did that, and it was like, wow.
But I didn't even know who he was. This is before I watched the show. Where it was just, this was really young. He went on in '62. I was 6. I wasn't watching it or interested. I was interested in dirt and the Yankees. But by the time I was 12, in 1968, I was like, oh, I'm starting to like want a girl and want to know what might a girl like in me. And like, oh, Johnny Carson, he seems like girls like him, and he's funny. I could be, he's like, so he was somebody I idolized, and he was cool.
Yeah. So cool.
Yes.
So cool.
So cool. He was cold. He could be cold as ice.
Oh yeah.
We're like freezing people out.
Yeah.
Remember all those stories, the Joan Rivers and the.
Yeah. Oh, that was brutal. That was brutal.
I mean, if you crossed him.
Oh yeah.
It was. Yeah. Mafia time.
Yeah.
Right?
He felt he was betrayed in that scenario. He really built up her career, and he felt he had been betrayed, and but he was something. He was great to me. I was so fortunate to know
he was. Me too.
He was just.
He liked comics.
He loved comics.
Yes, he's like he is one.
He's a comic.
It's like a director who's an actor. He got us.
Yeah.
I mean, and when we fucked up, even I fucked up there, and I
did you?
Yeah. Well, yes.
How?
I did it like the producer of the show was Freddie DeCordova.
And Peter LaSalle
was the associate, but Freddie DeCordova was the main guy, and he was an old school Hollywood, very well coiffed, Beverly Hills, shopped at that store Carol's.
Yeah. You have a great memory. You have a great memory.
It's where Bernie Rose, it's where people like that shop. Like Freddie DeCordova.
Impeccable.
Yes.
Impeccable.
Well, just like, it's kind of very old school. I'm so very expensive. And, but he was a director. He directed Reagan in Bedtime for Bonzo.
That's right.
And maybe a few others. And he thought Reagan was his best friend. So and Reagan, there was an assassination attempt, and then I guess they cut like 2 minutes out of a 6-minute thing. So
Yours?
Yes, so they got very mad at me.
Really?
And I think the only one who could have saved my ass at that point was Johnny himself.
Right.
I think it had to go up to, you know what, he's young, he's stupid, but so was I at 27. He's funny young man. Give him another chance. Yeah.
Did you get on after that?
Yeah.
There it is.
No, I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I did see my life flash before my eyes.
Yeah, look at that.
We've all seen the roadkill of show business.
Oh, yeah.
Of some talented people, and they just got greedy with sort of how big I am before I am.
That's right.
Shit.
That's right.
Which is always stupid. Or they just, you just piss off the wrong person.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you didn't mean it. The town ain't rooting for you.
That's true.
They're rooting for themselves.
That's right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I was really fortunate, in so many respects. My mother got pregnant with me when she was 16. And she had me 17 days after her 17th birthday.
Wow.
And my mother's brilliant and beautiful. And I was born in Detroit, Michigan, April of '61. And they assassinated Martin Luther King in April of '68.
Right.
And, Detroit got lit up like a Christmas
I
tree.
remember the riots.
And I remember being a kid in the streets, and I was just playing baseball in the middle of the street and using neighbors' cars as first base and home plate. Right. And my mother and my grandmother start screaming and howling like I've never heard before, like such pain. And it was like, they killed him, they killed him, they killed Martin Luther King. And I'll never forget it. And literally, not less than a minute, I was looking down the barrel of a tank. And the military had immediately taken over the neighborhood. And the troops were walking, down the street with the bayonets and the dogs, and my mother and grandmother screaming, get in the house before they shoot you. And you get in the house and you just watch the place on fire like I'm 7 years old. I didn't even know what was going on.
Was having the troops come a relief, or?
Oh, it was scary. We felt
you would rather they not.
Oh, we felt the troops were there to kill us, to shoot us, to contain, because they knew the riots were breaking out, so they felt like
you could be a victim of the riots also.
Exactly, but they felt like, okay, you're.
But you'd rather die in the riot than from the troops.
Well,
I'm just asking.
No,
I don't know.
I didn't want to die at all. But
I know, but
right. Their point was, what they said was, get back in the house. Here's the curfew. Do not come outside until we tell you, and especially don't come out after dark.
Just saying,
we will shoot you.
That choice to me is one that should not be political, but everybody makes everything political. I don't think it's a political decision at all. It's like, okay, there's two scary things going on here. And the riot.
They're burning.
With troops. These people, and then the troops. I don't like either one of these.
It was bad.
But which one?
It was bad.
I wouldn't know either.
I believe over 50 people were shot and killed by the police and by the troops. It was just a horrible, horrible thing. And so my mom said, let's go to L.A. and visit some relatives. So we came out to L.A. in summer of '68, and it was supposed to be a 2-week vacation. And my mom said to me one day, do you want to go back to Detroit? And I said no. And she didn't ask me why. I just said no. And the reason I said no is I had gone to the movie theater that afternoon, and there was a advertising, a trailer for a movie, a Disney movie, and they said, coming to this theater. I wanted to see that movie. I didn't think it was going to be in Detroit. I think I stayed in L.A. because I wanted to see 101 Dalmatians, whatever that summer movie was. I'm not even sure.
That's what it says on the poster out here. L.A., come because your city is rioting. Stay because the movie
is only here. The movie is only here. So we end up staying. It was a lot of lean years, sleeping on floors and sofas and, friends and neighbors letting us sleep in spare. She's a young girl with a baby.
Right.
She's 24 years old at this point. But she ended up getting into UCLA, and she ended up getting her master's.
So she was going to school while she was working?
Yes, exactly. She ended up going to UCLA and getting her master's degree in cinema TV production. And after she got her master's degree, and she used to take me to class with her, which I remember vividly. She took me to a class that was taught by Peter Guber. And I remember sitting there listening to him talk about making movies and so forth and so on.
Big producer. His partner was John Peters.
And he ended up running Warner Brothers and Sony, just one of the biggest out there. And so when she got her master's degree, and you'll love this, when she got her master's degree, she went looking for jobs. And she couldn't get one. A lot of doors slammed in her face. And she went to NBC one day and asked for a job. And they said, we don't have one. And she said, do you have an intern program where I can work here for free to show you my passion for this business? And they said, no, we do not. And she asked a question that changed our lives forever. She said, will you please start one with me?
Oh.
And they said, yes. Wow. And that question changed our lives forever. And she could not afford childcare. And so
true. Most people would just stop there.
Would just stop.
She went
that extra.
And that is the difference between humans. Why, you can complain about meritocracy, but some people just get the answer right and some don't.
That's right.
Some people think a little one step pass where most people stop, some don't. Some go down in the mine and come out with the gold.
That's right.
Some just get dusty.
That's right. That's exactly right. She went the extra mile.
She must be inordinately proud where you got, because like, wow.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that really exceeds.
We work together to this day. And so,
you do?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm blessed.
What do you mean work together?
She's one of my producing partners.
Oh,
she's exec producer on everything that I have on, and will always be. And so she could not afford.
That's a unique business. You don't see that in a lot of boardrooms where the guy and his mom.
That's right. You don't see that. You just make your own rules.
And you never fight about it?
Well, we have our debates, but we don't fight.
But does she pull rank because she's your mother on a business decision? That's the key question.
No.
Answer it.
No, she doesn't. No,
she doesn't?
She has faith in me. She will say, I don't.
But if she disagrees, she's not going to pull rank. She's not going to be like, this is.
No. I'm not. With Mom, it's like I'm 65 at this point. Mom, this is why I lay it out, and she goes, I get it. And she'll say,
if I was her, that's what I would do. I'd be like, I'm just going to say this one thing. That last month that you were inside of me, it just was a lot. I mean, at that point, the baby is very heavy, gas. I was just shitting my pants. I mean, I was eating like a pig. I felt awful.
And this is the answer you give me.
But you do what you want with the BET network. I just cannot help but picture that scenario.
She hasn't played that card, but I'm sure she will one day. But when she couldn't afford childcare, she would take me to work with her. So I would go to work. I would go out to NBC after school and on the weekends and during the summer. And so that is when I met Johnny Carson. I was 14 years old. And I met him, and I thought, wow, this is the greatest guy ever. And I'm sitting there waiting for my mom to get off work. And I would go across the hall, and I would watch Red Fox tape Sanford and Son.
Oh, right, across the hall.
Yeah, and I watched Freddie Prinze tape Cheek on the Man.
Oh, I can picture that hall.
Yeah, and I would go down the hall, and I would watch, Flip Wilson do the Flip Wilson show.
Wow,
and I'm watching Bob Hope do his specials. Oh. And then Johnny Carson would tape his show from 5:30 like clockwork.
Yeah, I know.
Like clockwork.
Did it 30 times.
Right, exactly. And so I would sit there in the parking lot, and I was a kid, and I would wait for Johnny to pull in, and you could set a watch. 2 o'clock, his car would turn onto the lot at 2 o'clock like clockwork. He would pull into his parking space number 1. Get out of his car, whatever it is, at the time, a white Corvette, and he would get out of his car with a brown paper bag lunch.
Yeah.
Right? He had looked like he had a bologna or a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
From Nebraska.
Right, he's from Nebraska. And he would float into the studio. And he would go upstairs, work on his monologue, come downstairs shortly before 5:30. And I watched him just religiously. And I watched him. He'd come downstairs a few minutes before 5:30, right behind the corner, dun, 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 hit the mark, do the monologue. And I loved how he didn't let a cue card boy hold his cue cards. He would take his cue cards and he would put them on a board. And the board would go the length of the studio. So no one ever flipped the cards for him.
Really?
Yeah, they never flipped.
That.
Oh, it was unbelievable. So what he would do is that way he could stand there and he could edit the jokes.
Course.
Right? Joke 1's great. Joke 2.
I know the feeling. With the teleprompter. I mean, on my show, by the time I put it in the teleprompter after working on it a week, it is exactly what I want. But there have been times when a teleprompter, you just the prompter guy can't. He's not a psychic.
He
doesn't know if I would. Geez, I'd love to skip that next sentence, but I can't because until I read it, you're not going to move the teleprompter.
You're not going to move the teleprompter. So Johnny created this system where he put him on a board that ran the length of the studio. And if you watch his monologue, and I know you've watched it a billion times, he will veer to the left because you read left to right.
I never noticed it. That's so interesting.
He would veer to the left at the beginning of the monologue, and by the end of the monologue, he was veering to the right.
I gotta watch.
Now you watch that, and you'll see he was just reading left to right, and his body will gradually turn, and he's editing the jokes as he's doing it, and it was brilliant. You may even find photos where you see the cue card in the studio and it's on the board and it's going from left to right. So I would watch him and he would be done clockwork at 6:30. He'd go upstairs, get off his makeup, whatever it was, and he would walk down to his car about 6:45. And Freddie DeCordova and Peter LaSalle would walk with him. And he would give his feedback. You know, I don't like the material that Bill Maher did.
Right.
What was that kid thinking? And give him another shot.
Right.
And then he was off the lot by 7 o'clock.
Right.
And this studio that had hundreds and hundreds of people in there, crew, audience, completely empty by 7:05. And I used to go and sit behind his desk.
Come on.
Oh, yeah.
They let you?
No one was in the studio. It was just me and a janitor. And the janitor would be cleaning up, polishing the floors for the next night. And they knew me because I'm hanging out during the day.
Is that what you wanted to do, that job?
Oh, yeah. I wanted to, not the janitor job, but yeah. I wanted to do the Johnny job.
You wanted to do the Johnny job.
And I sat there and I would read I would stand on
now
this.
you have that time slot.
And I have that time, and
That's an interesting full circle.
And that's something, and I would stand on his time period, on that star.
Tell people what I'm talking about.
Oh, I'll tell them we have some time.
But I mean, you have that time slot now.
Yeah, I have that time.
On CBS.
I've been chasing it for 51 years.
51 years you've been chasing it.
I've been chasing it for over half.
You could never predicted how it
would happen.
You know what I've been learning about healthy eating? It's rarely a discipline problem. It's a timing problem, because at 6:30 at night after a long day, you're standing in front of the refrigerator looking at the ingredients for a healthy meal thinking, yeah, sure, or I could just eat something terrible in the next 4 minutes. That is the battle, and that's what Factor is here to change. Factor basically removes all the excuses. The meals are already prepared, designed by dietitians, crafted by chefs, and delivered right to your door. You heat them up in 2 minutes and move on with your life. What's impressive is the variety. More than 100 rotating meals every week, and enough options that you don't feel like you're trapped in some endless cycle of chicken and chicken. The ingredients are actually great. Lean proteins, vegetables, healthy fats, whole foods, no artificial colors, no high fructose corn syrup, none of the stuff that sounds like it was invented during a laboratory accident. So if you're trying to eat better this season, Factor makes it easy. Head to factormeals.com/random50off and use code random50off to get 50% off and free daily greens per box with new subscription only while supplies last until September 27th, 2026. See website for more details. You know, you spend a lot of money getting customers to call you, advertising, referrals, word of mouth, marketing, all of it designed to make that phone ring. And then somebody misses the call, which is kind of like paying for dinner and leaving before they bring the food. That's why today's episode is brought to you by Quo, spelled Quo, the business phone system built so you never miss a call. What's great about Quo is that it acknowledges a basic reality. Customers don't care whose turn it is to answer the phone. They just want an answer. With Quo, all your calls, texts, and voicemails live in one place, so anyone on your team can jump in, see the conversation history, and help the customer right away. And when your team isn't available, Quo's built-in AI agent can answer after-hour calls, respond to common questions, and even book appointments. It also connects with tools you're already using, HubSpot, Zapier, Claude, and more, so information stays organized. Setup takes minutes, you keep your existing number, and it grows with your business. Money's on the line here. Always say hello with Quo. Try Quo for free, plus get 20% off your first 6 months when you go to quo.com/random. That's QUO.com/random.
When I saw Johnny, and I saw him in summer of 75, and I was like, oh no, this is what I'm gonna do. I was 14 years old, and I just loved everything about him, and I just loved and he was so smart, the way he managed that show. And he was off the lot, and I would just go, and I would sit there, and I would stand on his mark, and I read his monologue, and I would just always read it, perform it. And I just thought he was just the greatest. And then I started doing, and I went and did, Gladys Knight and the Pips had a summer show. And I knocked on they had a comedian on. This is summer of 75. And they had a comedian on, and I went on, knocked on his door, and I said, "Sir, sorry to bother you. I want to learn how to be a comedian. What should I do?" And he said, "You should go to the Comedy Store." And I thought, oh, okay, maybe I need to go there and buy jokes. I didn't know it's the Comedy Store. You go buy gigs, you go buy a site, a slip and fall. You buy a gig. I don't know, what are you doing?
It's hysterical. Right? Hey, it's called a store.
It's called a store, right? And I said, okay, thank you, sir. The Comedy Store. I'm going to go to the Comedy Store, and I'm thinking,
magic shops are that.
Right, exactly.
You literally go and buy your act.
You go buy your act at a magic.
That's why comics hate fucking magicians.
Hello. So you go, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'll go to this Comedy Store and go buy some material or whatever. And I said, by the way, sir, what's the name of that show you're going to do again in the fall? He said, Welcome Back, Kotter. And it was Gabe Kaplan.
Gabe Kaplan.
Right? So he had just done the Gladys Knight and the Pips summer show, and he was doing his routine about his high school, and then that's a big sitcom. It was going to be a sitcom that fall. So I called the Comedy Store. And this is summer of 75, Bill. You'll love this. I call him up and I say, so this is a Comedy Store. Yeah, I'm just curious, how much do you sell jokes for? Like, what is a joke? And I'm like, okay, and then do you have like prop comedy? There's a guy, and the guy, thank God, he was the nicest guy, because he could have easily blown me off. He says to me, he goes, no. He goes, the Comedy Store is a comedy club. It is not a supermarket where you buy jokes. And I go, oh. He goes,
it's a place where you steal jokes.
It's a place where you steal jokes. And he said, I said, well, I would like to be a comedian, sir. And he says, okay, then you want to come to Monday night tryout night, potluck night. And I said, oh yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to come try out. He says, okay, the doors open at 7. And we get a lot of people who want to be a comedian. So they start showing up. So do yourself a favor, get here early. I said, no problem, sir. I'll be there early. I'm 14. I take the bus to the Comedy Store, and I get there at 9 in the morning. I'm the first one there. I'm trying to I'm like, I think I'm in the right spot.
It's funny, because I was going to ask you, how does, we all started as comics. How does this one become this mogul, this billionaire mogul who owns this, and is buying this and going to buy this? And I see now what it is. I mean, it's this. It's like asking the extra question. It's showing up at 9 in the morning. It's just, some people just have that sort of, it doesn't ever enter their head that they're not going to succeed or get where they're going.
That's true.
Well, that's not me. Every step of the way, I'm like, oh, fuck. Is this it? Or, I don't have that.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised to hear that.
I mean, at 70, it's different, because now I've done everything I ever wanted to do. So now I'm playing with the house money.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, if it all ends tomorrow, well, it was a good ride. People are basically retired at this point anyway. But I don't want to retire, and nobody who was my fan wants me to, and everything's fine. I don't feel any fucking different, really, or quite frankly, act different. That may be a good or bad thing than when I was 40.
Right.
I'm not married. I don't have kids. I still drink and smoke pot and blah, blah, blah. It's like when my life changes, maybe the show or my career will change. But until it does,
enjoy your life.
I mean, yeah. And it's just those most surprising thing I learned about getting to 70 is how much everyone else lied about it or presented a picture of it that did not turn out to be true. I thought I'd be using a walker.
Oh, wow.
Just the way people are.
Yeah.
I used to play basketball in the driveway of, the Peachtree basket on the tree with my father, and he was like 50, and he'd throw up, everything hurt, and, people back then, they didn't work out, they didn't stretch, they wouldn't, my father never stretched a day in his life.
That's right.
I don't think, it just wasn't.
That's right.
He was in the Army, he was in World War II, we don't stretch, we're made of different material. I don't know.
No, you have many, many, many years to go, my friend, and you're
Well, we
living,
don't know that.
well, we certainly hope so, and you are.
No, we hope.
Yeah, and
That's
you're living the life you want to live, which is so key. But I remember that going there to that Comedy Store, and the doors finally, and I just sat there on the curb, and I'm just writing jokes, and the doors finally open, and Mitzi Shore, God bless her soul, she was signing people in, Mitzi, and I remember walking out.
Oh, Mitzi, of course.
Yeah, and I remember walking them. She was looking down. She never looked up, and she was looking down. What's your name? What's your name? And I said, Byron. And she looked up. She goes, how old are you? I said, I'm 14, ma'am. She says, you are not old enough to be in this club. You have to leave immediately. I'm going to lose my liquor license.
Oh, wow.
And I said, oh, wow. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry. I didn't even think about that, right?
Oh, wow.
And so I turn around. I start to leave. I get almost all the way to the door. And she goes, wait. She goes, come back. She goes, I'm going to give you a drink ticket. And she says, don't you dare buy any alcohol with it. Use it for alcohol. I said, no problem, ma'am. I don't drink alcohol. To this day, I still don't drink alcohol.
I'm sure you don't.
And so she
Goofus and gallant over here. It's true.
It's true. And she goes, you stand in the parking lot. I'll have someone come get you when I'm ready. And I think she put me up second or third. And they only had like 4 people.
So she was willing to risk her liquor license.
She said, I'm not at risk if you are not in the club. If you're performing in the club, that's fine.
Oh.
Right? So you have to be in the parking lot. So I just stand in the parking lot.
What a clever out.
Clever out. So I'm thank God she thought of it in that moment. Thank you, Mitzi. And she said, you know.
What was your material like at 14?
I had written a spec script for Sanford and Son, Red Fox.
At 14?
At 14. And a guy named David Panage, who was a writer on the show, read the script, and he said, how old are you? I said, I'm 14. He goes, I can't believe you wrote this script. He goes, this is amazing. He said, you must keep writing. And he said, kid, you have it. He was a writer for Laugh-In and for Sanford and Son. So I submitted the script. They turned it down. And I took the jokes that I had in the script, and I went and did an impression of Red Fox, Sanford and Son, on stage. 200 chairs and 4 people. And I got a couple of chuckles in my 5 minutes. And Mitzi said, you can come back.
Wow.
And this guy came up to me, Wayne Klein. And Wayne Klein comes up to me, goes, who wrote those jokes? I said, I did, sir. And he said, they were funny. And I said, thank you very much. He goes, can I get your phone number? I know somebody that may want to write with you. I said, sure. So I give him my phone number, and a week or 2 later, I get a call, and this guy goes, can I speak to Byron? I go, this is Byron. He goes, this is Jimmie J.J. Walker, Kid Dynamite.
Of course.
Summer of '75, he's the #1 hottest comic on the planet, Good Times.
Good Times.
Yep, he's hotter than hot. He says, my man Wayne Klein says you're funny. And if my man Wayne Klein says you're funny, then you must be funny. He goes, I'm sitting in a writer's meeting right now. Would you like to come and write with me and my boys? And I said, let me ask my mom. And so he goes, oh my God, Wayne. He has to ask his mom, and he's sitting in his home, in his apartment. And I hear all these guys moaning and groaning, and one of them in the background says, tell his mother not to worry, we will have cookies and milk for him. And Jimmy goes, Dave, be nice. You're gonna scare the kid, just be nice. And I'm thinking to myself, who's this joker Dave, right? So my mom says, okay, you can go, and she takes me over there and drops me off. I walk into Jimmy's apartment the following week, because he says he has writers' meetings every Tuesday and Thursday at 7:30. So I walk in, and sitting in his apartment, Jimmie Walker, Jay Leno, sleeping in his car, David Letterman, that was Dave, who had just come out from Indianapolis in a red pickup truck.
Yeah, that's that era.
Yeah, and Marty Nadler, who went on to write and produce Laverne and Shirley and Happy Days, Wayne Klein, Jeff Stein, who went on to do Mr. Belvedere. These guys, I got $25 a joke. Jay Leno and David Letterman got paid $200 a week. Dave had just driven out from Indianapolis, and he was in his orange or red pickup truck. He didn't think he was going to make it. So he wanted to be able to get back in his car and drive home back to Indianapolis. He actually said, I think I screwed up. I had this unbelievable gig as the weatherman in Indianapolis. And I blew it. I quit this job, and now I'm sitting here and I remember one day picking David Letterman up to go write jokes together, and he lived in basically like a closet across the street from the Comedy Store. The bed, he opened the door. He could barely open the door because the bed was blocking it. The bed took up the entire room, and all he had was this little. I
had the exact same situation when I first moved to the bed. I was in the maid's room of an apartment, and the bed came out of the wall.
Right.
And when the bed was down,
couldn't open the door.
You could open the door, but you had to be very skinny to get to the other.
Right.
It was a closet.
It was a closet.
It was a closet with a bed in the wall.
That's right. And then on the dresser he had a hot plate and like tons of Campbell's soup cans. And I'm like, this is a fire trap because he had newspapers all over the bed. So I'm like, oh, let's get out, let's go right. And these guys were getting $200 a week. I got $25 a joke. I was thrilled because up until that point, my only job at that point was I delivered newspapers. I was a paper boy, and I had
so much better than being a nepo baby. I see so much in the media and TV, and nepo babies are just. First of all, there's more of them than ever. And they kind of have a nepo pride, It's like, that's one thing to be like, okay, and then they're like, yeah, nepo. They're like not ashamed. They shouldn't be ashamed, but you could be responsible for the idea that, yes, things are a little easier for you, but they will never have what we have with these kind of memories. You just don't. And if you don't, you're never going to like it as much as we like what we have. You're just not.
Yeah, the journey is amazing.
The shitty part, which at the time was so shitty, if you said to me that, would you like to skip this part? You won't have the memory of it later in life. I'd be like, oh, fine, let's just skip it. I don't need the memory. But having had it, I love the memory. I love the memory. It makes everything sweeter.
That's right.
In the present. And,
that's right. You look back on that and you go, wow. And everything you live, you can bring it forward. It will play a part of your life. You will use it. You will put it to use. I enjoyed it. I mean, when I was a paper boy, I was getting half a penny a paper. Los Angeles Herald Examiner, out of business. I had to throw 2 newspapers to make a penny. I had to throw 2.
Come on.
It's true.
This is like a...
True. I had to throw 200 newspapers to make $1.
This is like the fees for like after, what was it, after the Civil War?
Yeah.
When blacks were technically free, but they were, what do they call them?
Indentured servants, yeah.
Well, something like I can't remember the agricultural version of that.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was like,
we got paid nothing.
A penny for a pound of cotton.
Yeah, exactly.
Just some
half a penny for a newspaper delivered. And by the way, you had to get it right on the lady's porch, or they would call your supervisor. So when I got that check for $25, I didn't know what that. I went to my mom and I said, and Jimmie gave me a check one day after the writers' meeting, and he said, "Here's $25 for the joke it was in an envelope." And I opened it up. I go, "What is this?" He goes, "That's for the joke you sold me." And I go, "Oh," and I didn't say anything. I went home and I said, she goes, "How did the writers' meeting go?" I said, "It went well." I pitched a number of jokes that they like, and I said, "He gave me this." And I go, "What is this?" She said, "It's a check." I go, "What am I supposed to do with this?" She said, "You're going to go to the bank and you're going to cash it." I'm 14. You're going to cash it.
No, I get it.
And they're going to give you $25. And I said, "Well, that's okay. I'm not going to cash it." And she goes, "Why not?" I said, "Because this check says I can make it in this business. And I can't believe somebody would give me $25 for something I would do for free."
What a dick. I would have cashed it. Jesus Christ. Who the fuck are you? That is a ridiculous fucking story I've ever heard. I hope that's not true.
Well,
I hope that's a bullshit story.
I ended up cashing the check.
Exactly. See, I'm always right. It's a burden, but it's true. What am I going to do?
My mother said, you need the money, cash the check. So I go, she said, cash the check and ask Jimmie to get the check back because it's going to come to him in a couple of months.
Jimmie?
Jimmie Walker.
Oh, Jimmie Walker.
That's who gave me the,
right.
Yeah. So I cash the check.
Dynamite.
I get the $25, and Jimmie, I said to him, I said, hey, when you get the check back, can I get it back? It'd be great. I'd like to frame it. And he said, sure. And he was kind of like, I thought maybe he was half listening. Sure enough, a month or two later, he hands me the check, and I framed it, and I had him on my show recently, and I said, I don't know if you remember this, but this is a joke you gave me probably almost 50 years ago. And I hang it in my office because every day, this reminds me I'm doing what I love. And this was the moment I knew I could make it in this business when you paid me $25. That was to be a writer. And then one night I was at the Improv and Bud Freeman comes up to me and he says, what are you doing New Year's Eve? And I'm like, well, I'm 17. I'm going to be at home. He goes, would you like to perform? And I said, sure, it'd be great. So I performed. And then a couple of months later, he walked up and he handed me a check. And I looked at it, it was $25. I go, what is this for? Now, this is when comedians, they didn't pay us. The Comedy Store and the Improv.
I remember the whole strike.
Yeah, they didn't pay us. And so I said, what is this for? He goes, I pay comedians to perform New Year's Eve. Now, I had performed there for 3 or 4 years for free. And I was prepared to work for free for many, many years. And he handed me that check. And those are the 2 checks I keep hanging on my wall. One for writing for 25 and one for performing. And both of them wrote a nice note, Bud Freeman and Jimmie Walker. So that was a good turning point for me. But I remember Jay and Dave and, really good friends, and Jimmie was trying to convince us all, except for Jay Leno. He was like, you guys don't want to be comedians, be writers. And for a minute, David Letterman really kind of focused on that writing part of his life.
Yeah. But, what's unique, what's interesting to me is that, like, you're playing the game on this level that most people I do talk to people who play this game on this level, but they're not usually comedians, where you're like, oh, you're bidding on Paramount.
Yeah.
Or what are you bidding on now? Snapchat? These very big, it's a poker game I'm not in, and I don't even want to be in. I'd be too scary. I think too much money is a little scary.
Right.
I do.
Yeah.
And I'm a man of simple means.
Yes.
I am. 1 house, 1 car, 1 plane. Simple.
I like that. 1 plane.
No,
I love that.
None of that is even true.
None of that.
Except 1 car.
1 car, 1 house. Or 2 houses.
I've never been a car guy. Are you?
No.
No?
No,
What do you
which
drive?
is odd.
What do you drive?
I have a Mercedes SUV, and my wife has the same one. And then we have a family assistant that has one, and it's to get the cars around. We have the same one. I just am not a car guy. It's really odd because my dad worked at Ford Motor Company, and my granddaddy worked at Great Lakes Steel. My entire neighborhood put on a uniform and went to an automotive factory or someone who made parts for the automotive factory.
People either do or don't. I mean, like Leno and Seinfeld, and Tim Allen, I think. I mean,
they love cars. They're car guys.
When people are car guys, I mean, it's
and they have great collections.
It's not gay, but it's gay for cars.
It's very impressive. When you look at their car collections, and I love it. Everybody has their passion. Their passion is.
You think everybody?
I think most people have some type of passion they like to collect or listen to or do.
I think a lot nowadays. I think a lot of people's passion is just to get to someplace,
right?
Like without sort of like doing what you have to do to get there.
Right.
They just want to be a Kardashian.
Yeah.
They're kind of like the heroes of this era in our life because they became royalty from,
social media.
Yeah, I mean, literally a blowjob tape.
Social media. And it just transports throughout the world quickly.
And I always say when people ask me about them, they're the nicest people in the world. The
Kardashians.
Yes.
I love them. I think they're great.
The only issue they would ever have is the origin story. The origin story is a little suspect. It would be like if Spider-Man became Spider-Man because he blew a spider.
Oh, God. You know what? I knew their dad. So, his dad, because I went to USC. And his dad was a big, dad was a big USC. And he was the nicest guy. And he was just a good guy. And I like Chris. I think Chris has done an amazing job.
Yeah, she was here. I liked her.
Yeah, well, she was here. She has done an amazing job. I mean, when you look at what's been built there.
It's a fortress, that family. It's like CAA. It's like a machine, a shark-like machine that just runs, and one show goes down, another comes up, and that's like it is a never-ending money-making juguggernaut.
She's done a magnificent job. I think Harvard.
I think they could slow down now a little. They made they're billionaires too.
I think
right?
I think Harvard should teach a business class on what they built and branding. And
what do you think of the crowd that you hang with? I mean, I'm not saying necessarily like deliberately, like, well, I'm sure you have your people who you like, let's have dinner. But just the thing I see you out, I see you sometimes at the Laker. You're always at the Laker. You'll have floor seats.
Well, I don't own them permanently, but yes.
Yeah, but
who do you see me with when you see me at the Laker game?
I don't know. Who are you with?
My wife and my kids.
Yeah, well, I'm not suggesting you're hanging out with Nick Fuentes. I'm just saying. I'm just saying
I'm always with my wife and kids.
Okay, but I'm saying just the crowd, like the we're fortunate enough that we hang out with the very fancy people.
That's
shall
right.
we say?
That's right.
Of Los Angeles, which is, like it or not, I'm sure New York would argue, but kind of the cultural capital. I mean, we make the entertainment, and everybody lives out here. And New York is New York. It's awesome, and the greatest city in the world. And please don't fuck with me on this. If you love it, you love it. I live there. I have roots. I love it. I don't want to live there, but I love it. But I love LA. I do.
Oh, yeah.
And I know you do too.
Oh yeah. Listen, I left Detroit when I was 7, and I've been here since '68. I couldn't imagine living any place else.
I can't either. And so many people come to the same conclusion. And a lot of it is just the climate. It's such a big thing that people pretend, or there are people, Woody Allen was here, somebody else was here recently saying the same thing, I can't remember who, that they like gray days. There are people who like gray days.
God bless them.
God bless them, but it's a weird thing. It is.
Yeah.
It's as weird as a lot of other psychological things people could have because we are solar creatures and the sun is so basic. I mean, sometimes I wake up, first of all, you should get sun right when you wake up in your eye. That's science.
That's right.
It's just very healthy.
That's right.
And
I love it here. I love the climate.
I like the suburbs. I never liked living in a urban setting in a building. I don't want to live in a building.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
And anyway, again, it's. I'm not saying you're weirdos or anything like that. I'm just saying there's something about not being okay with people right on the other side of a wall. And I'm not saying even in a nice building.
Yes.
I'm just aware.
Yes.
That I'm sitting here and right over there's another guy who I don't know or want to. And this thing between us, but.
And you hear them quite often.
And in a cheap place you do.
Yeah,
and then
even in nice places.
Even in nice places?
Even in nice.
You think?
Oh, I know. I know. I had a very nice condo in one of the most expensive buildings in New York, and I heard the neighbors. They must have been loud. They must have been really loud. Oh, yeah.
Doing what? Fucking or fighting?
They were the former. Yeah.
You heard them fucking?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That can be kind of hot.
Rich people having sex. Yeah, I should have made that a podcast.
I mean, did you know who it was? Did you?
Yeah,
know?
They're your neighbors. You see them in the hallway.
Oh, so you could picture them doing it?
Well, I didn't do that, but you could.
Oh, come on! You heard them and didn't picture them? You expect me to believe that?
When I said no, I'd actually picture. I thought.
Were they attractive?
Fairly.
Fairly.
Yeah.
Well, that isn't a ringing endorsement to like getting a boner. I said fairly. What's wrong with you?
Oh, we're talking to our penis now. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I am not a big fan of. I will say this: New Yorkers. I don't want to speak for all New Yorkers, but they definitely started to agree with us when COVID hit. And man, did they run out of those.
Agree about what?
Agreed about not wanting to be in buildings with other people.
Oh. Right.
Yeah, they ran to Aspen.
Right.
They ran
the
everywhere.
Hamptons.
The Hamptons.
Yes.
Any place they could get space.
That's one of my big bugaboos about COVID and the people who attack me about COVID is that the bullshit of every time I turned on the TV, it was some version of we're all in it together. No, we're not, you fucking assholes. you fucking posers. Half of us are getting food delivered by the other half. And you're the half that's sitting home in your pajamas. And talking about how much we're all in it together. No, you're going out to the Hamptons.
Yeah.
You got.
You're going to a yacht.
Yes, I know you're putting out Instagram political messages about it, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
But basically, you're the one who's insulated from. If we're really all in it together, I got an idea. How about we take turns about who's working for Grubhub? If we're really all in it together, maybe that should be something that has to get passed around. So some of us are delivering some of the time instead of some of us delivering all of the time, and some of us in our pajamas all the time.
Oh, yeah. I have something I want to share with you about Johnny that I think you'll appreciate, because I know how much you love him. When I went to I had a once-a-week, 1-hour show called the Byron Allen Show.
Yeah, I know.
And it was once a week, and it was on Saturdays at 11:30, blah, blah, blah.
What year are we talking now?
89, about 88, 89.
Okay, so Real People's 80.
Real People's 79 to 84, and then and this was 89 or so, around late 80s.
Did you keep up with Skip Stephenson?
I loved Skip. Unfortunately, he passed away.
He did.
He had a heart attack.
Oh,
he was great.
Sorry.
He was just a really good guy. He was a comedian. He just loved comedy, remembered every joke he ever heard. That was the thing that blew me away.
But just his look and his name.
Skip.
He would have to literally be named White Guy.
I've never thought about that. That's hilarious.
Really?
Skip Stephenson. Yeah, that's hilarious.
With the look and the hair and the blonde
from
and
Nebraska,
the sweater and the Skip Stephenson.
He was great.
I was like, great. Is this? I always thought like, okay, you were on there. This is 1980.
1979,
Things were very
84.
different racially in 1980.
79, 84.
Were they saying like, okay, we've hired a black guy. We need to hire now the whitest motherfucker that God ever put on this green earth. looking at pictures. No, Biff Wellington. No. Skip Stephenson. He's it.
How did I end up that show? I called him. Remember, you remember Jim McCauley, right? Of course.
He was the booker of comedians for The Tonight Show. So
Amazing.
In our world, he was like...
the comedy god.
He was, yes. If you were the kind of person who blew people, you'd want to blow him.
He was...
Didn't cross my mind, but...
Yeah, nor mine. But I called him up one day, and I said, Mr. McCauley, I would like to be on The Tonight Show one day.
You are too...
Well, didn't you call him?
Of course you did.
You didn't call him?
No. It's just hysterical.
So I called him up and I said, I'd like to be
And you were what, 8?
I was 17.
17. Okay.
And I said, I'd like to be on the show one day. And I just would love for you to take a look at my material and where I'm going with it. And just make sure you think I'm on a track where, Mr. Carson would appreciate it.
Wow.
And he said, okay, where are you going to be next? I said, I'll be at the Improv tomorrow night. He says, I'll stop by. Okay. And and the club, Wednesday night, Improv, 20 people there, whatever, it's a Wednesday night at that point. And he shows up. And I did my act. And I said, thank you for coming, Mr. McCauley. I really appreciate it. He calls me a week later. And he says, I want you to do the show. I went, whoa. I said, I'm sorry, sir. Really appreciate the offer, but I'm going to pass. And my mom goes, what was that all about? And I said, Mom, I'm not, trying to do the Tonight Show and one and done. This is a marathon, not a sprint. When I do the show, I hope that I'm going to get offers. And when I get offers, I want to be able to accept them. I'm in high school. I can't accept one offer.
This is what you said?
This is what I said to my mother.
In the movie version, I feel like it's someone who's much older having to say this to you. I personally was not of this maturity level at 17, but you're gallant and I'm goofus.
No.
I mean, it's just, your centeredness at such a young age is really amazing.
No, thank you. So and my mom said, okay, I understand. So Johnny introduces me on the Tonight. I turn 18.
You did it, though.
Yeah, I turn 18. It's about a week before I graduate from high school. And I'm like, okay, this is great. I know I'm going to get out of high school. I'm going to get into USC Film School, and I'm going to be able to play comedy clubs in the summer, make money, pay my tuition, and I'm off my mom's payroll, and I'm no longer a financial burden to my mother. This is my number one goal, right? So Johnny says, we offered Byron the Tonight Show, and he was 17. He turned it down because he had homework. That is how Johnny introduced me.
That's awesome.
Right? So I go, and now I'm backstage, and I'm standing, you'll love this story. I'm backstage, I'm standing behind the curtain, and I'm joking with Gene the Dancing Machine and Irv.
Joking? Behind that curtain? I remember standing behind that curtain while the band's playing.
Yeah.
You were joking. I was shitting my pants.
I was having fun, because I had grown up there. Now remember, I had been on that.
Oh yeah.
I had been on that studio lot for 4 years, since I was 14 years old. It was really.
And you sat in the chair in episode 2.
And I sat in all this chair. Like that.
Right.
That studio was an extension of my bedroom. It was an extension of my apartment, because I'm waiting for my mom to get off work. So I'm at home. So in that studio, and I'm having fun with Irv and Gene, and and my back is to the curtains, and they stop kind of joking and smiling. They stop smiling and just kind of get serious, and they go, clear their throats and like signaling to turn around. And I turn around, and it's Johnny Carson. And he says, don't worry, kids, you're going to be great.
Wow.
And when he said that to me, I thought, wow, this is my hero. I can make chairs laugh.
Bastard didn't do it to me.
But he loved you. He loved you. He would not have let me get away with 2 minutes of that.
Because you were a child star. It was a novelty act that they were claiming credit for.
I was 18.
No,
I was a kid star. Yeah, that's right. I was a kid.
It's a little of both.
Yeah.
I'm sure they would have done it if they didn't think you could score. Because one thing they didn't like at that show, failure.
Oh boy.
Johnny was a tough taskmaster.
Man, let me tell you.
First of all, we keep talking about him, and if people are younger, first of all, they may be bored. I'm too bad. We love him, and he was an important guy in show business. But it's important to know, if you even are interested at a younger age, things were just so different, beginning with people had a much longer attention span.
Oh, yes.
This is pre-phones.
That's right.
So conversations could breathe.
That's right.
Things could happen at a much slower pace. I get it. Things change. Technology, brains, whatever. I'm not fighting it, even though I may lament it. I don't think it's better, but okay. But it just was different. Johnny could not survive today.
That's right.
As himself.
No.
He was right for his era.
Perfectly right for his era. And I remember Macaulay would go over every word of your material, which is why I'm surprised you had that setback there.
I'm surprised too, but maybe I
Did you deviate?
I did.
Okay, that's what happened. You deviated.
I probably.
Yeah, you absolutely did.
I guess I did.
Yeah, you did. And then now.
Yeah, it was my sixth one.
Yes.
And I guess I thought after 5, okay. Now the king
loves you.
Can take his court here at the Tonight Show and just riff on Reagan getting shot.
Oh boy. And now Jim Macaulay, poor guy, he's walking around in adult diapers because that could end his career. And he's like, because he would go over every word, every nuance.
No.
That's why I'm surprised you got away with that.
It's such a perfect example of why It's as bad as it is sometimes to be 70, it's better than 27. You're just so stupid. You do so many stupid things. The idea that any time, like after hopefully 40, I would have been so dumb as to do that joke in front of that producer.
You would never do it.
You just never would do it. And I think there was a couple of times in those early years when I did something brash and kind of like, and I think there for the grace of God, because I do think there's a couple of times I could have been one of those roadkill people who were like, this kid is just an asshole. But luckily they were like, I think he'll grow out of that, and he did.
Yeah.
And the talent is worth it. I mean,
there it is.
And I owe HBO a lot for that.
Bingo.
They're a network that really they believe in how good you can be, not just how good you are.
There you go.
And that's I would say a key to their success, because that makes artists really want to work with you.
Yeah, and your success. You needed the right platform where you could shine. Yeah. So that was it. And when he had me come out there and do the show, I remember standing there. I remember standing behind the curtain, and I said, in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to go out here, I'm going to make these people laugh, and I'm going to change my life and my mom's life for the better forever. And when they opened that curtain, boom, hit the mark, did it. Now, fast forward, you'll love this. I go to do the Byron Allen show, and I go looking for a studio to tape. And I said, let's go look at NBC. So we go to NBC, and they show me every studio except Johnny's. And I said, you showed me, they go, which studio would you like to rent? I said, well, you showed me every studio except one. And they go, which one did we not show you? I said, you didn't show me Johnny's studio. And everybody started chuckling and kind of getting nervous and a little nervous laughter. I said, no, Johnny's studio is the best studio in town. I said, it was designed by Bob Hope. And I said, with the stadium seating. Right, the stadium seating.
Stadium seating.
And I said, the problem with a lot of these television studios is that they put the audience in a pit. And we as comedians, we can't help but play to the people.
Right.
And so when we go out there on stage, it's really tough because the camera's right there, but the people are below, and we keep playing to the people, and we're closing our eyes to the camera because we're looking down at the audience in the pit. And Bob Hope designed a television studio that has stadium seating, and it rakes up.
Otherwise a prick, but that really was a good thing he did. No, he had some funny. He had a moment, a long moment. My parents loved him in World War II. Didn't like him later in life.
Right. I said, that's the studio. It's the perfect studio. You hit the mark, and your eyes are open, and you're playing to the camera, and you're also able to play to the people because they're sitting right behind the camera. Best studio in town for a comedian. And I said, as a matter of fact, Bob Hope designed the studio, and he gets to use it and tape his monologue for his TV specials, because he's doing specials every, 4 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it was. They would just bring up Johnny's curtains, and they would bring down Bob Hope's curtains. And he would go and tape his monologue after Johnny finished his show at 6:30, and that would be his monologue for his special. I said, so here's the deal. I said, I've been watching Johnny personally since I was 14. He's back in his car and off the lot by 7 o'clock and on his way to Malibu. At 7:01, I want to strike his set. And I want to take his set out. And on Friday night, and I said, on Saturday, I want you to put my set in. On Sunday, I will tape 2 shows. And on Monday, you'll put his set back in, because he wasn't doing the show on Mondays at that point. He was Tuesday to Friday. And I said...
Wasn't there a guest host?
No, they were doing Best of Johnny's on Monday at this point.
So repeat on Monday.
It was a repeat on Monday.
So unthinkable today.
Right? So I said, 7:01, my crew comes in, strike his set. Saturday, my set's in. Sunday, I knock out 2 shows. Monday, you put them back in. And then he tapes Tuesday through Friday. They said, he'll never do it. I said, just do me a favor. Just one favor. Ask him. And tell him the request is coming from me. Just say my name to him. He has watched me, and he has, because I've always made it a point to stand in the parking lot since the time I was 14 and say, hello, Mr. Carson. Hey, Mr. Carson, I saw your joke the other night. That was very funny. And over the years, I got him to know my name. And then he put me on The Tonight Show. I said, just mention my name. So they go to him and they say, they want to strike your set, da-da-da-da. He's like, you're out of your mind. Don't touch my set. Don't even think about it. And they said, oh, by the way, the request came from Byron Allen. He said, oh. He goes, let the kid strike my set.
You're a ridiculous person. I'm telling you, you're just a ridiculous person. And if this isn't a Lifetime movie, then my name isn't Johnny Asshole. I mean,
right?
Come on, man.
You'll love this.
Come on, man.
Look, Bill, you will love this.
But just in this one, how long have we been here? An hour? Just this 1 hour. It's like we've got a whole inspirational. I mean, but really, every story is like. I know you don't need the money, but you should either be an inspirational speaker or like make this into a movie, because this is, every story is like, it's inspirational.
But no, you'll love this story because you love Johnny, and I love talking to somebody like you when we talk. So this was, by the way, it wasn't the craziest thing to ask. It was the craziest thing is how much money I spent to strike his set every other week and put my set in. That is not how you make television. Please believe me when I tell you that, folks. So they say, okay, what parking spot do you want? And don't you dare ask for parking spot 1. That's Johnny. They said, as a matter of fact, we gave you parking spot 2 next to Johnny. I said, absolutely not. I do not want parking spot number 2. I would like to have parking spot number 3. And they said, 3? I go, yeah. I said, Johnny has a white Corvette. At the time, I had a black car. I said, I'm not going to get out of my car and nick his white Corvette. I'm not getting my black paint on Johnny's white Corvette. I said, I was having lunch.
You were always one chess move ahead of the rest of us.
No.
Byron, it's true.
You'll love this. So I said, I was having lunch. I told myself I was having lunch with David Horowitz. You'll remember David Horowitz. There's
several David Horowitz.
But this was he was on KMBC Fight Back with David Horowitz. He had a consumer advocate segment on KMBC.
Consumer advocate,
David Horowitz. And so if you rip somebody off, David Horowitz would show up with a camera. Right? And David was great. He was amazing, right? And we were having lunch in the commissary one day, and he was complaining about how they put his parking space in Siberia on the lot. Like they had him way away from the studio.
Why?
For whatever reason, because he was local television and all the national shows were taking up the parking spot over by the Tonight Show. I said, do me a favor. I said, give David Horowitz parking space number 2. Do me that, and I'll take 3, right? And my producer will go over here, whatever. They said, okay. David pulls in, Byron, oh my God, you're the best. I said, listen, David, you have a gold Mercedes. I said, do me a favor. I said, I'm going to scooch over to the right, and I'm going to encroach on Doc Severinsen. He's spot number 4. I said, and I want you to scoot over so you don't nick Johnny's car. Don't get your gold paint on Johnny's white Corvette. He goes, oh, this is a good thing. Now, so I get the parking space. Now, the reason I did this, and you'll love this, I was able to have these 3, 4, 5-minute conversations with Johnny in the parking lot.
Right.
And so I was able to say to Johnny,
clever.
And I would say, Johnny, Mr. Carson, I'd say, I saw your monologue, this is great. And I'd say, sir, did you get a chance to watch my show on Saturday night? Because he didn't go out. He goes, yeah, I did. I go, do you have any notes, sir, that you can give me? And those notes changed my mind, changed my life, and helped my mind really.
Like what?
He said to me, in the nicest way, he says, Byron, he goes, I want you to remember something. He said, I'm not really doing a talk show. He says, I'm doing a comedy show. Mm-hmm. He said, the first half hour is comedy. Yep. He says, I do a monologue, 8 to 10 minutes, and then I do a sketch, and then I'll have on, a celebrity like halfway through.
Not a sketch, but a desk piece.
Whatever it was.
Sometimes a sketch.
A comedy piece. Or,
yeah. But yeah.
A comedy piece. So monologue and then a comedy bit, right?
With Ed.
With Ed, right? Or whatever it was, right? And then he says, I'll have on celebrity number 1, celebrity number 2, good night. And he said, and I don't jump in on the celebrity unless they're bombing. He says, pull back. Let them shine.
Right.
And your job is to step in when they're not shining.
Right.
And he says, just pull back. But he goes, I'm doing a comedy show. And that's when I thought, you know what? I'm not going to do the talk show.
Right.
I'll just do a comedy show.
Yeah.
And I'll just have comedians come on.
Yeah.
I don't need to talk to celebrities and talk about a book or a movie or a TV show. That came out of that conversation.
That's interesting.
With Johnny in the parking lot. And also I remembered when I would go to Canner's Deli or across the street from the Improv, the Mustache Cafe or whatever it was, the comedians, when we all sat around in a restaurant, everybody was funnier when we were together in that restaurant than on stage. Everybody was a little timid. They weren't themselves. Like they were, but when they can't, when the comedians are around other comedians, they know, look, a comic knows when they walk into a room, they can be the funniest person if they want to be. But when they're around other comedians, it's a different sharpness. It's just a different focus. And I said, I like when comedians are together. When we talk, it's a certain camaraderie that's different.
I've never gotten into that, who's the funniest. It's such a silly, subjective thing.
Not trying to be the funniest.
In what way?
Exactly.
There are certain ways I am, and there's certain ways Adam Sandler is, and
yeah.
you are, and it's just silly.
You're right.
There are people who, Martin Short, Dana Carvey,
yes.
who just are like these laugh machines. They're just they're certainly on a level that's energy-wise,
yes,
different than me.
Yes.
It doesn't mean even if I wasn't mean, I was just an audience, I'd be like, yeah, I love them, and I love him too. It's
that's
just
right.
different. Sometimes
that's right.
It's like sometimes you want to hear a upbeat song, and sometimes you want to hear, me and Mrs. Jones. We got a thing going on, and we both know it's wrong. Let's put that on the table. We both know it's wrong, but it's much too strong.
I love it. It's much too strong. I love it.
You remember that one?
Yeah, oh my God, I remember that. Oh my God, that's great. That's so funny. So yeah, I thought you'd appreciate that, but having that time and just learning from him.
So what is this? What is this Snapchat thing? I read this.
Not Snapchat. I bought BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed's a publicly traded company, and I ended up making an investment in it. And BuzzFeed. I control and HuffPost.
I think they've been
Tusty.
I think all these places have been horrible to me.
Have they really?
Oh, I certainly know Huffington Post has.
Really?
Oh, once Ariana left, and it became like the most woke.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Oh my God!
What'd they say about you? I don't even know.
Do you own it?
Yeah, now I own it. I control 50. It's publicly traded. I control 52%.
Someone's fucked now.
Have another drink, Bill.
Oh, I'm gonna have a tall one for that. Are you kidding?
So,
yeah.
Bill, we've only known each other since what, 1983?
Yeah.
So I've owned it, I think, all of 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Well, let's give it another week before we have. I don't want to call it a witch hunt, although frankly that's what I hope it will be. But no, they just have. They were like peak woke.
Yeah.
And
they came down on you pretty hard?
Oh, for years.
Which one? This is HuffPost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I hate about the left, the purity. And that's what HuffPost, I'm worse than like Republicans because I'm not pure with and a lot of what they believe, of course, is silly, insane, revolutionary garbage from people who don't know facts or history or perspective. But that's okay. I don't have grudges against, I don't even read it.
There you go.
But what was the other one? BuzzFeed?
BuzzFeed.
But all these places are a bunch of snarky fucking millennial, probably Nepo babies. I mean, I just know how these kids who have these jobs how much they were indoctrinated before they got there. And they are not America. So I don't know, you don't read your own publications?
Like I said, I'm there 2 or 3 weeks. At the end of the day, I do read it. And what I find is that, there's that spectrum. I learned very early on, a guy taught me, he was just a really good guy. I met him when I was 19 years old. His name was Al Massini. And he created Entertainment Tonight and Lifestyles, Rich and Famous and Solid Gold. And I met him at a television convention, and he became like a second father to me. And he just said, wow, don't get caught up. he said, you know,
Johnny, this guy, you're just like fucking.
You got to go introduce yourself.
Unbelievable.
You just introduce yourself, Bill. They're
I'm
there.
just gonna say.
You just go.
What about the Pope? You ever meet him?
No, but I have gone to the Vatican.
Really?
And I went to Catholic school.
You did?
Yeah.
I was raised Catholic.
Is that right? I was raised Catholic.
I went to catechism, which is Catholic training.
Yeah.
We had it on Sunday.
Yeah.
Before church.
That's right.
My mother stayed home. She was not Catholic. I didn't know what she was until I was older. Jewish, it turned out. And my father and sister and I would go to church. Well, before church, which I fucking hated, of course, but the really bad thing was 2 hours before we were dropped off at catechism, which was, I guess, teaching you how to be Catholic.
That's right.
You know, I remember giving 100 questions we were given on a mimeograph page that we had to memorize.
That's right.
Where is God? God is everywhere.
That's right. Did you go to confession every Friday?
Yes, and confession, which I think Saturday, because
I went every Friday.
Whatever it was close to Sunday because you didn't want to leave a window there when you might sin. Because once you went to confessions and spoke through the little screen there, you were free of all sins.
Forgive me, Father, for
But there was a little bit of a gap between then when you got communion. You can't get communion unless you're free of all sins.
That's right.
So there was like an 8-hour gap. It's a little like when the porn star gets tested, and then there's still kind of like Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? I think you do.
This is hilarious. I love this podcast. Have another drink. This is great.
But yes,
You went every Friday?
Saturday.
Oh, you went Saturday.
Saturday, because Sunday was when you got communion. And of course, as a kid, you're just, what fucking sins could I be doing as a 7-year-old? So you're like, the anxiety that I
remember
had.
one of mine. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I told my mother I would take the trash out by 5 o'clock, and I did not do it until 5:30.
Yeah, shit like that. Exactly.
That's
and for that they put scars for life.
Well, I still remember it.
Like, exactly.
I still remember it 58 years later.
Just your heart is pounding because you're 7 and you were told this man has your he can condemn you to hell.
My heart was pounding until he said, "You are forgiven."
And then, and then you would be given penance, and like he's got an abacus in there, and he's okay. It's 3 Hail Marys for the lie, and and he would say, and of course the children. If only I'd known at the time. Of course he's not going to make it too onerous. It would be like, say, 3 Hail Marys and 2 Our Fathers, and I'd be like, whew,
So funny, when I met my wife 25 years ago. She went into
really 25 years. You've been married 25 years?
We've been together 25.
Wow.
We've been married 19.
How did you know she was the one?
She said yes.
We'll be right back.
Jennifer's great. She's my best friend, and she's just wonderful. I remember she walked into my closet, and I had nothing but.
You were in the closet?
No. She walked into my closet in my 1-bedroom condo, and she saw it was nothing but black pants and white shirts and like blue sweaters. And she goes, "This is your entire wardrobe?" I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "Did you used to wear a uniform?" And I thought about it. I went, as a matter of fact, I did. And she said, "This is crazy. We're throwing all this away. We're going to go buy some jeans." And I just didn't realize how I grew up with the uniform, like do everything straight over the plate. It was indoctrinated day one when I was a little kid.
So you were living in a condo 25 years ago?
Yeah, I was in a condo. I was in a 1-bedroom condo. When I met my wife, I was in a 1-bedroom.
So your wealth came, your mogul period came not at all in the last century, all in this century.
For the most part, yes, exactly right. 2000, exactly right. And, I realized early on it wasn't show business, it was business show.
I remember Kid Rock was here and he goes, "I fucking love being rich." And all I could say was, "I do too." I mean, come on. I mean, why should we hide it, right? Especially when we were poor.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's like it's the reason why it's so popular, because it's just such a lubricant.
Yeah.
Like more than, because I'm not an acquirer of things.
Right.
Like I don't collect anything that, motorcycles, cars, paintings,
Smart.
like jewelry. None of that gives me any pleasure.
Smart.
But it's just,
what does? What does?
My delicate Christian wife, Sue, and our 2 homeschooled children. No, I'm sorry, that's not my life. That's somebody else. My work.
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah.
Friends.
Yeah.
Just I'm a person of routine. I get pleasure out of being anal, and just I have a job that's been the same job for 23 years. That's right. I like that. I like the process. I like feeling that it's something people are feeling fulfilled by. I mean, you need a purpose to wake up in the day, and but I have no material. There's no, I don't need a lot of money to do the things people do with money. I mean, for all the people who are like always talking about, their virtues, signaling about the poor and everything. Well, you spend a lot of money on things you don't specifically really need. We could all do that. We could all just, this jacket is $5,000. I could just not have it. Right. And still have plenty of clothes and give $5,000. But we all think, well, is it really going to get there? Right. If I thought it really would go direct, if I could somehow telepathically put it in the pockets,
right,
I don't think I'd ever buy another $5,000 jacket.
Is that right?
If I could really do that, because I have 15.
Right.
Some people have 500.
Right. Right, yeah.
And are still buying.
That's right. That's right.
Which one are you?
In my personal life,
How many jackets do you have?
Personally, not that many. For the show, we have a wardrobe. But look, I'm jeans. I'm
not counting the show.
Oh, well,
right. That's a wardrobe. That's business.
That's wardrobe. That's right.
That's
yeah.
wardrobe.
I like jeans.
Please, we cannot be people like us who are male models. We cannot be seen just wearing anything on television, Byron. I mean, the people would revolt.
I have a hole in my jean right here. I just want soft jeans, tennis shoes. I want to be comfortable.
Right.
I like being comfortable.
Me too.
I can't wait. I'm at home. Right. I like to put on my soft pajamas and T-shirt and just hang out with the wife and kids.
Although I also must say, I kind of I wouldn't want to do it a lot, but when there is a reason to put a suit on, you look good in a suit.
Yeah.
The suit is designed for men.
That's right.
I mean, it's just, somebody did that years ago, and we went, oh, this thing makes me look better just sort of visually.
Right.
You can be a fat fuck, and you're still under a suit, like the thing is cut here, and it covers up a lot. Or if you are in good shape, it can
even
look
better.
Of course, even better. Yeah, frames you.
Yeah, exactly.
And the tie, no reason for a tie.
Right.
I mean, what's the reason for a tie?
It's an odd thing, a tie.
It's an odd fucking thing.
It is.
Do you know what causes disease?
No, what?
The tie.
How is this?
I'll tell you. I love that we're talking like David Mamet characters now. Suddenly it's now just... And here's the fucking thing. Because doctors in hospitals will be wearing a tie, and they will lean, there's a lot of bacterial infections in hospitals. It's one of the main reasons why you don't want to be in a hospital.
Never.
Because whatever you go in with, you could get something worse in there.
That's right.
It's where the germs live.
Yes.
So don't wear a tie that could, as you're bending over the patient... I'm not making that up.
That's great.
That shit happened.
Great observation.
And our one here, Cedars-Sinai, very good hospital.
Yes.
And they're a good hospital with a good rating because they don't do stupid shit like this. They really don't. And yeah, but no reason for the tie. I mean, aside from killing people, except it kind of, again, frames us. There's something about it that works with the V of the suit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do you like to go on vacation?
Great question. I used to see you in Hawaii.
Yes.
Because for 12 years.
Maui.
I did Maui and Honolulu. People know this. They,
would perform.
I started at a time when no one would do it, and I broke that market.
That's right.
And said New Year's Eve, who wouldn't want to be? And then everybody did it, so they crowded me out of my own market. Okay, but it was awesome, and I would bring people. I'd see you there.
That's right.
I mean, it was just a wonderful time. What was the question?
Where do you like to go vacation?
Oh,
Or do you like to go
That's
vacation?
Right. No, once that ended, that was my vacation. And even then, it was a working vacation.
That's right.
I did 2 shows. I did Honolulu and I did Maui in 4 days. But, I also was on the beach and body surfing. It was so awesome. And I'd bring people and, it was just fun. It was one of those great things you can do when you're, I couldn't have done it when I was 30. I had other things that were good then, but I certainly couldn't have brought a gang of people on a private plane to Hawaii every fucking New Year's.
Isn't that great?
It was awesome, and got to like this, but for 4 days.
That's right.
With people who I was getting to know.
Yeah.
I got to know Nikki Glaser that way. Lots of
She's
people.
great.
Lots of people I got to know that way.
Yeah.
But
you would always bring these great comedians. To come.
It was fun.
The Natasha.
But no, Natasha. Yeah, absolutely.
Natasha Leggero, she's amazing.
I remember she had a baby at home at the time. She was not going to do it. She was like, no, I have a newborn. I was like, yeah, but it's Hawaii. Okay. But everybody was always, it was great. But
any place else other than Hawaii?
I mean, I don't tour anymore. I did that for over 40 years.
You don't go out and do dates anymore?
No, I
Why
stopped.
Not?
Everything comes to an end. I mean, I feel like I quit at just the right time because...
Oh, my God, you're worth $1 million, $2 million a night.
Not a night, but I mean, it was very lucrative. I played all the great theaters in this country.
You and a couple of more comics, you could do arenas.
Yeah, I would never do anything with other comics. I feel like you should
really... Well, you did New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
You would take other comedians and open for them.
Oh, yes. You're right.
Did you forget that?
Okay.
Let's have another drink.
Okay. Once a year. You're right. You're right. I did.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I mean, I love them, but I feel like comedy is, especially the kind that I do, it's just so distinctive. I think all comedy is, not just mine. It's all so distinctive.
You'd rather just do it by yourself?
It's just hard. Yeah.
Wow.
I always did when I went on the road. I never had an opening act.
And how much time would you do?
1.5 to 2 hours.
Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what people buy a ticket to see you at that level.
That's right.
I mean, they're not there to see an opening act, and that's okay. I mean, that to me is one of the great things about. I mean, we're really privileged to do that, to go out in front of a group of people who bought a hard ticket to see you, which means they really get you.
That's right.
It was such a joy, hopefully for them. I think usually it was. But for me too, just to be able to indulge myself with people who I know you get me fully. You bought this ticket. You're not just a fair weather fan,
That's right.
And it's just like it is in a romantic relationship with somebody. To be with somebody who really gets you.
That's right.
When that's the audience, it is almost intimate. It is intimate.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
I mean, listen. I'm surprised you're not out there. I didn't know you had retired. I mean,
I can't stand the travel. I'm a nervous
and
traveler.
you're flying privately?
I was for the whole century.
Well, why?
Even that became too much. I'm telling you.
To drive to Van Nuys and get on a private jet?
Correct.
What's the problem?
Correct.
What's the problem?
First of all, I'm not going to sit here and complain about private jets. But you know what? Fuck it, I will.
Okay, I want to hear this, Bill.
No, I've always been very honest about it.
You're always very honest,
I did an editorial about this on Real Time once, and I remember turning right to the camera and saying, I'm Bill, and I fly private. I mean, I did a whole thing and because everybody else, I said, at least I'm honest about it.
Yeah.
Everybody else who's an environmentalist, I showed all the pictures of them getting on private planes.
There you go.
None of them don't do it.
Yeah.
Carbon offsets, bullshit.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, we live in this age where if you can fly private, you do. I was always for a gig. It wasn't like I was even paying for the plane. I mean, I was in a way because I was making less on the gig, but I still made money on the gig.
That's right.
I just wouldn't have done it if I had to fly. And many of them I couldn't even get to on the schedule.
No.
I had to be here Friday to tape Real Time.
That's
so
right.
how am I going to be on stage in fucking Wisconsin? Okay, so it became, first of all, too many crypto assholes with too much money
started buying up the jets.
Chasing too few jets.
Yeah.
I never bought. I didn't want to own one.
That's right.
Because then everything is your problem.
Yes.
You have to hire the pilots and keep them on. You have to get a hangar. You have to do the landing right.
That's right.
I was like, no.
The maintenance, the whole
Yes.
thing.
Let me just, and also, when you have this happened a few times, if you're renting it and it doesn't work on the runway, which happened more and more, it's one reason I'm stopping. More and more, there was there's something wrong with the computer.
That's right.
Like, they will get you another plane.
Not as pretty, not as good.
Or better.
Or better.
I was once halfway to Florida, flew all the way back to LA, and they had a much bigger, faster plane waiting for me. That's the advantage over not having your plane, as most of you people listening know. If it's one thing I tell the young comedians, relate to your audience. Do things they can relate to, for God's sakes.
Go out there and do the first half hour about your private jet. but I can't believe
it's true. Too many crypto assholes chasing too many jets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too many, the number of times there was there's a problem, just increased. I don't know why that is. I don't know if the jets got worse, or maybe it was just people who were stoned, who were working in this industry. I don't know, but it just was, I never had a good feeling even about the private jet. Like, is there going to be some problem today?
Right.
So
you're afraid to fly?
I'm not afraid to fly. For years, I'm not afraid. I'm afraid of getting there late because they're going to come back and say, we're having a problem. The computer isn't talking.
Well, how many Fridays do you do real time? How many Fridays out of the year?
36.
All right, so you have
all year.
Yeah, okay, it's all year. So you have the other you have 10 Fridays where you're not. Okay.
Where I may not want to work at all.
Yeah.
Mostly I was flying out Saturday morning after taping Real Time on Friday. Honestly, Byron,
but you can do concerts on Mondays and Tuesdays. People would come see.
I can't. I'm working here on Real Time.
because you're getting your monologue. Yeah.
I'm doing everything. This show takes all week to put together.
Right.
But honestly, it's been a year and a half since I've been there, and it's when I think of it now, it's like, how did I ever do it?
How'd you put your material together? How'd you put your material together? Because you didn't hit the comedy clubs. How did you put your hour and a half together?
Interesting point that's come up before. At a certain point, I didn't understand why anyone else needed to. Like, if you've been doing stand-up for 30 years,
yes,
you don't know what'll work, I don't know. I know.
Right.
I'm not saying I'm Superman.
Right.
I'm just saying I didn't have to go to the clubs.
Right.
And I wasn't wrong.
Right.
And if occasionally something didn't get quite the laugh I thought it would, I don't remember anything just completely dying.
That's right.
I remember jokes trying out. Of course, that's the process, where it was like, yeah, it worked. No one was embarrassed, but I can beat it, so I'm getting rid of it in the act. But, every time I did something for the first time, it got something.
Got it.
I can just tell.
And you can keep track of 90 minutes of material without working the clubs?
I loved the process there, too. I'm a process person. I always took on stage and had a music stand, and I had my bullet points.
Okay.
And so I did not have to memorize my act.
Okay.
And I would then have those bullet points in the computer. I'd get home, I'd edit it, so every show was an updated version of what worked. As opposed to in the old days when I was writing on a yellow legal pad, this was awesome. I could just do it in the computer. And now next time I'm on the road, I have the act right up to date, and also don't have to memorize it because it's going to be up there with me. And I get great pleasure out of the fact that I moved this joke 2 jokes earlier and it worked so much better.
Yes.
All that little tinkering shit.
Yes.
That nerdy shit. That's what
the comedians
loved it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, so you could play spots and do theaters in LA.
I could do a
San
lot of
Diego.
things. I could start skiing. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved it, and I miss it a lot sometimes, but not as much, because I have a monologue I do every week on Real Time. That scratches that itch. And it's even better in a way because it's a different animal than doing stand-up, which is, much more passionate, shall we say, because it's your act about evergreen things. And the monologue is just what happened that week. But it's still fun to tell jokes, and it's very much fun, as you well know, to tell jokes you've never told before.
Yes.
And see if you can like do it. It's a test. Can I do this joke I've never told before and still fucking nail it?
Right. Can you find humor in this? Can you
not
bring
just
something?
find humor, but nail it like in performance and how it should be done. And, you know, mostly, but not always, because it's the first time.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great.
Once you're a comedian, you're always a comedian. See, you nailed it. You are scratching that itch because you're doing the monologue on your show.
Yeah.
If you didn't have the monologue on your show, then you probably
then not. Yeah.
You'd have to get back out on the road.
There is not a time I am standing right backstage before the show starts when I don't think to myself, enjoy this because this is kind of what you live for.
Mm-hmm.
It's to be able to walk out here every week and they're all ready for you and you've got all, you know, you got all these great jokes from my great writers and, you know, you put them just the way you want them now, so you made it into a thing and now you get to deliver this and people will take it as a gift you're giving and they'll like you for your gift you gave them of this monologue. Like, that's not going to be there in my life forever, unless I die like the day after my last show, which is possible. Andy Rooney did it. Andy Rooney fucking literally like died like a week after he was doing 60 Minutes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm no Andy Rooney. So I'll probably be living after. But each time I go out, I do think that. I do think, wow, this is as much fun as you're going to have with your pants on ever.
That's right.
So enjoy it and know it. It's at one point it's going to be the last one. So enjoy this one too.
And you don't know when the last one is, and you have to enjoy it. And you don't. You have to enjoy it. But you know, so all right. So you said something earlier that's really intriguing. Like you like Johnny, and that the girls the girls would notice you and the whole 9 yards. So you become rich and famous. When you were talking earlier, you're talking about, the girls like you, because comedy, what's cooler than this? Yeah, you got the attention of the young ladies.
Well, I mean, if you were really into that, you'd be a musician. Comedy is...
But you don't have any musical talent.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So it's not really up to you.
Yeah, I have zero musical talent.
You know, I mean, comedy is just not in the same ballpark as music.
That's exactly right.
And that's fine. It probably saved us from some shit, too.
A lot.
We would have gotten laid more, but we did fine.
And not survived as long.
And we didn't have to like snort a column of ants or something. we just. And also, I think it weeded out women of a certain, shall we say, passive IQ level. Like comedy, you kind of have to have a brain to appreciate it.
Right.
You know.
Right. So you've had a great life. Is there anything else you want to do?
Well, let's not talk about it like it's over.
It's not over. But I mean, you've had a great life so far. I mean, when you think about the fact that
I'm having one.
You're having a great one. Yeah. But listen, you've been doing what you love since you're, what, 22, 23?
Well, I certainly didn't love it then. It sucked.
Well, what age did you start?
Then, and it was horrible. I mean, you know those early years.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, but think about it. You started at 22, 23 years old, what you wanted to do.
Yeah, oh no, I mean, all my dreams came true. I don't want to have to sound like Elvis when he made all my dreams came true. Yeah, they did, but they didn't work out for you, dead at 42. I'm still here at 70. My dreams did come true. I mean, along the way, you know, both me fucked up and life fucked up. Some things could have worked out better. But in general, it's like I would not, I've said this before, I would hope there is no such thing as reincarnation, because I don't think I would pick a better life. You know, I don't think I'm gonna get, if I'm reincarnated, whatever I come back on as, I don't think it'd be better than this one. It could be. I could come back as Rod Stewart or something. but the odds of it being better, slim.
You know what that means? You're very happy.
Yes, our generation, first of all, just accepts a much lower level of happiness. We don't have a sense of entitlement. Like, it came about in later generations.
So what's the story? I'm just curious. And we've known each other a long time. I mean, you're completely off the possibility of marriage?
Well, at 70, I think that's silly.
Yeah?
I mean, why would you get married except to have kids, and you wouldn't have kids at 70? I mean, not that people haven't done it, but it's a crazy thing to do. It's a crazy thing to do. I love being this age because it's a built-in excuse for being what I wanted an excuse for all my life.
What's that?
I can't get that serious, and I won't have children. All right, I gotta go back to work.
All right, man, great hanging with you.
It was so much fun. Congratulations on being Byron Allen.
And
you somehow came out on top.
You as well.
I bet you have more money than Seinfeld, I bet.
He has more cars.